Hey everybody, Joe from Britical Saiyans here, and today I'm going to be going through the King Vegeta deck profile. So this is a new one that came out in set 13, and it's quite fun. My kind of deck because of the stupid stuff it can do. So to begin with, he's got this first auto of you automatically start the game with young invaders in play. So it just gives you an instant field, and I'll go over that in a moment. And then his secondary auto is when he attacks, you look up to 5 from the top of your deck, and it's up to 1 mono red Saiyan with an energy cost of 5 or less amongst your hand, and shuffle your deck. So just any battle card in here besides the Archer you can add. And then his awakening skill is kind of interesting. So when you or your opponent are at 4 or less life, you can do a 1-1, switch him to active mode, and then you would add cards from your life until you hit 5. That's in case you're doing it from your opponent's thing, because you can take their life through your card effects. So then we go on to the awakened side. I was going to say the second side. The awakened side, he's got a permanent of reduced combo cost of all red Saiyan cards with 500 power in your hand by 1. So just to show you quickly, all these little ones besides Goku have a 1 cost 5k combo, so the leader just lets you combo them for free, and it's just a little deterrent for your opponent. He has the auto of when he attacks he draws, and his secondary auto is once per turn when the power of one of your opponent's cards is decreased, you choose which one of your opponent's battle cards and it gets minus 10k power for the turn. So it just means anything you do to reduce card's power, whether it be the unison, the leader or battle card, he can then just take 10k from one of your opponent's battle cards. So obviously really useful because it's red, so it's basically all they do. Right, moving on, to start with, we've got the unison for deck, so it's just 2 copies of Black Master Saiyan Brawler from Another Dimension. First of all, I only run 2 because I have 2, so plus you don't really need the unison in this deck. I don't think it's good to have, but it's not heavily reliant on it. So he's got the auto once per turn when your opponent adds a card from their life to the hand or places a card from their life in their drop area and a marks this card, and if it's your turn, this gains 5k for the turn. So beautiful thing is Brody and Vegeta make your opponent take a life if they're on 5 or more, which triggers that. And of course if you smack your opponent or whatever, it will trigger it. And then he's got a +0 auto. When your opponent plays a battle card, your opponent may choose that card and it gets minus 5k power for the turn. If they don't, add 2 Marcus's card. And then -4 active main, he gains 15k power and double strike for the turn. So alongside his first auto ability, he has the potential to be a 30k double strike. But other than that, it's just really useful because it makes your opponent choose whether or not you gain markers. So which is always useful on the unison card. So going now into the extra cards. To start with, we have 2 copies of A Sudden Escape. So this is a counter made for the deck. So it's counter attack. If your leader is a red Saiyan, negate the attack. Then you play up to 1 red Saiyan card with an energy cost of 1, 500 power from your deck, with its skills negated for the game. Then shuffle your deck. So again, it's for this guy or the Vegeta. They have an auto that activates no matter which side of the field they're on, but this deck makes sure that if you play it to your side, they won't have their skills, so you won't be affected. But it does also have active main. If your leader is a red Saiyan only card, play up to 1 red Saiyan with an energy cost of 1 and 500 power from your deck to your opponent's battle area, then shuffle your deck and draw a card. So it means that if you want to add an extra baby Saiyan to their field, you can just use this as an active main instead of a negate. That's why it's really useful, but I only run 2 because we have 3 copies of this lovely thing, King Vegeta's Imposing Presence. Or in my case, King Vegeta's Imposing Rarity, because triple SPR. It does make it hard to read, so I'll just move on quickly. So, counter attack. If your leader is a mono red Saiyan card, you may choose the attacking card, ignoring barrier, and it gains 10k power for the turn. Your opponent can't attack with cards for the turn unless they give the attacking card minus 5k power each time. You can't activate copies of this card from your hand for the turn. So what it means is the first card that attacks loses 10k, and then subsequently every other card that attacks loses 5k the moment it attacks, which is really good because it slows down the opponent's aggression. They might just be playing like a small aggro deck, so you basically take away a lot of their power, and it makes your opponent think like, right, what's actually worth attacking, what do I need 5k on, what do I combo to make this more deadly, and so on. It does also have the point of, if your life is at 3 or less, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying its energy cost by discarding a card. So just gives you a way to free play it. And like I said, I run the 3 of this because it's very useful, but you could interchange and just run 3 sudden escape and 2 of this, whichever's your preference. I just kind of wanted to make use of having 3 SPLs. It's basically it, but oh well. And then the last extra card is, we've got 2 copies of Young Invaders. So this is the one that he plays for free. So it's a field. It's got the auto of, if your leader is a King Vegeta BR card, at the start of your opponent's turn, you play up to 1 red Saiyan card with 500 power from your deck to your opponent's battle area, then shuffle your deck. If you play the card, you can't play battle cards that aren't red Saiyans for the turn. That's fine, it's during your opponent's turn. Chances are you're not going to be playing anything in their turn. It's then got active main once per turn. Add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. Then play up to 1 red Saiyan with an energy with 500 power from your deck in rest mode, and its skills negated for the game, then shuffle your deck. So again, it's just another way for you getting one of these guys on your board. And its secondary active main is once per turn you pay 1 red to choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gains minus 5k power. So it's a way of triggering this guy's auto, because you can choose something, give it minus 5k, and then if you want, give it minus 10k on top of that, or just give something else minus 10k. I will say that I know most decks don't run multiple of these. I do, just because there's no way to protect the field, and with how prominent field cards are to decks nowadays, I'm cautious about field destruction, because there is a card that can do it at the moment, but chances are there'll be more in the future. So this just means that if something were to happen to it, I have a secondary, instead of being like, oh boy, now what do I do? So now we move on to the battle cards. And to start with, we've got 4 copies of Brody, the Young Invader. I have 4 copies of Brody because I don't have Raditz. Because Raditz is expensive and I don't want to pay for it right now. So I'll just say that out here, because there'll probably be some people that are like, why don't you run Raditz? There's my answer: money. Anyway, now that we've got
basically,
that,
if you have Raditz, use that instead.
Yeah, if you have Raditz, take this guy out or drop this guy down, run Raditz, and then just get rid of the other Brody stuff for whatever the hell you want. It's mostly Gogeta that people are swapping all the Brody stuff for, but yeah, I don't have Raditz, so Brody it is. So Brody the Young Invader has unique, and he has 2 autos. So the first being, when this card is played, if your life is at 5 or more and your opponent's leader is a red King Vegeta BR, place 1 card from your life and you drop it, then draw 1 card. Now remember, it does say if your opponent's leader is King Vegeta, because this thing plays at your opponent's side of the field, and if you play it on your own side of the field, it won't trigger. And then it has auto once per turn. When you play a battle card on your turn, choose 1 card in your hand and send it to the owner's warp. At the end of your turn, return the card sent to the warp by the skill to the owner's hand. So that can trigger on either side of the field, but when you're playing King Vegeta, it's likely to come out with its skills negated, unless you do it from hand. But if you're doing it from hand, get rid of it immediately afterwards, is all I can say. Next, we've got 3 copies of King Vegeta Hidden Ambitions. So you want to drop 4k power, and he's got counter. So if your leader and all your energy are mono red, and your opponent has 3 or more energy, negate the counter skill of an extra card with an original energy cost of 1 that was activated without paying its energy cost, then play this card. So it just means like all those 1 cost negates are like, oh, you can take a life, or you can discard a card to play it. You can just be like, or no, is my response. And then he has active main, you pay 1 red. If your leader is a red Saiyan card and you place this in its own drop area, you play up to 1 mono red Vegeta's Lineage card with an energy cost of 3 and 10k power or less from your deck, then shuffle your deck. I'm just going to say now I don't have a target for that skill. It's mostly in here because it's a counter, so it makes it very useful. Next we've got 4 copies of Son Goku Hope of the Saiyans. So it's 1 drop, 500 power, and he's just got the auto of when this card is played, switch it to rest mode.
So swap that out instead of the Broly then.
Well, the Goku's more useful because you can use it to get the Goku stuff out, you can use it to play the Gogeta.
Oh yeah.
The Broly's good. This is just like, it allows you to have a free card, plus if you play it on your side of the field, it doesn't do anything to you.
No.
So, I would say the Broly's not as useful as Goku, just because the Goku has more potential in what you can do with the deck. But there's not much to say about it. And then finally for the 1 drops, we have our 4 copies of Vegeta the Young Invader. So, like the others, he's got unique, 500 power, 1 cost. His first auto is the same as Broly, so if your opponent's leader, so if you're playing King Vegeta and your opponent has this on their field, they take a life, they draw a card. And then auto once per turn, when one of your cards is attacked, choose that card and it gains minus 5k power for the battle. So obviously it's quite good because it means that if your opponent's card's on like 5k and you swing it to it, Vegeta can just automatically kill it for you instead of you having to go through the whole trouble. But it does also affect you, so be careful to get rid of it if you can help it. My 2 costs for the deck is just my 4 super combos of Raditz. So he's the one that if you're red and you're on 4 less and all your energy is red, you can put a card. Well, he gains 10k. You can put a card from your hand to the bottom and then draw 2. So that's why I ran it, because it's just really good and it's searchable. So, and now moving on to the 3 drops. So we've got 4 copies of SS Broly Unchained Might. So all the 3 drop Saiyans that the 1 drop's going to have 19k, and they all basically have the same active main. So his auto is if you have 2 or more energy and all your opponent's energy is in rest mode, when this card is played, your opponent reveals their hand, you choose up to 1 battle card with 15k power or less from it and send it to the nearest warp. At the end of your opponent's next turn, they return the card to their hand. So it means for your turn and their turn, the card's gone. And then, like I said, the active main is you pay 1 red, you choose one of your or your opponent's red Raditz BR, again I don't have Raditz, or red Broly BR, or Goku or Vegeta depending on who the 3 drop is. You place it at the bottom of your deck and play this card from your hand. So, like I said, Broly can target himself or Raditz, bounce it to the bottom, play himself out. Goku can target Raditz or himself, bounce, play. Vegeta, Raditz, him, bounce, play. So, that way I don't have to explain the active main. Is you pick Raditz or baby version of the card you're playing, place it on the bottom, play the 3 drop. So moving on now, we've got 3 copies of SSG Son Goku to the next level. So 19k blocker, and then auto once per turn. At the end of your turn, or when this card activates blocker, you switch it to active mode. And then, like I said, he's got the same active main as Broly, just targeting a baby Goku. And then we have 4 copies of SSG Vegeta to the next level. He's got unique and critical, 19k, and then when this card is played, you look up to 5 cards from the top of your deck. You add up to 1 red Saiyan card with an edge cost of 5 or less, or up to 1 red Unison card with a specified cost of 1. There's only one target for that. This guy. Add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. And then, yeah, active main. Bounce baby, play him. And then finally for the 3 drops, we have 2 copies of Yamcha Merciless Barrage. So he's got counterplay. You can't activate counterplay skills on other cards for the turn. Choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards to get minus 15k power and then play this card. So really good in combination with this guy because you can choose 2 things to give him minus 15 and then choose another thing and give it minus 10k. And because this doesn't say during your turn, it can just activate when you play this guy. And then its permanent is if you have a red unison with 2 or more markers, you can play it for free. So, which we do, have a unison, and it can get to 2 markers if your opponent lets it. So, moving on to the last kind of bulk of the deck, we've got the 5 drops. And to start with, we've got 2 SS Brody Brawl Amplified. So he's got Deflect, Barrier, 30k. EX evolved by paying 3 red. You draw a card and place it on a Brody BR with a cost of 3. So this guy. He's got the permanent of it can't be played from any area with a non-evolved skill. So you have to evolve into it. I'm pretty sure the Goku and Vegeta also have, they also have that permanent. And then he has the auto of once per turn. If this card is in rest mode, when your opponent attacks a leader card, they reveal their hand. Choose up to 1 card from it, sent to the warp. At the end of the turn, return the card sent to the warp to their hand. So it just means the first time they attack your leader, you can get rid of a card from their hand immediately. So they lose that for a turn, and it can give you a bit of a safety net. And then next, we've got 3 copies of SSB Son Goku at full power. So he's got 25k, Deflect, Dual Attack, and Blocker. EX evolved by paying 3, drawing a card, and going on to a red Son Goku BR cost 3. Can't be played without evolve. He's got the other permanent of this card can attack your opponent's battle cards in active mode. And then his auto is once per turn. If the leader is a red Saiyan card, when this card KOs one of your opponent's battle cards with an original energy cost of 2 or more, or it is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, deal 1 damage to your opponent. So Goku can just fire off the damage if your opponent gets rid of it through a skill, or you KO one of their weak cards. So you could just target one of the baby Saiyans. That's the easiest thing to go for really, because it's guaranteed damage once it goes through. And giving it dual attack means that you're more prominent to do that. And then finally in the 5 drops we have 3 copies of SSB Vegeta at full power. So he's also got 25k, Deflect, and Double Strike. Same EX evolve as the other 2. 3, draw, red Vegeta. Same permanent of has to be evolved. And he's got 2 autos. The first being, if this card is in rest mode, when one of your opponent's battle cards is played or attacks, you may choose that card and it gets minus 10k power for the turn. And then when this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, place 1 card from your opponent's life in their drop area. So if they get rid of him through a skill, you just crit your opponent. Which is nasty. And then the last card of the deck, purely because I can, if you don't have one of these, just play whatever you want in the deck, maybe just bump up like a Vegeta or Goku 5 drop, is a single, obviously, copy of Frieza Army Reborn. So it's an 8 drop with 40k. It's got Quad Strike and Ultimate because it's a secret rare. Its permanent is if your life is at 2 or less, you reduce costs of this card in your hand by 3. So you just pay the hard 5 red. And then when you play this card, your opponent reveals their hand, choose up to 1 card from your opponent's hand, place it in their drop area, then choose all of your opponent's battle cards with 40k power or less, ignoring barrier, and KO them. So just get rid of the card from their hand, board wipe, hit them for 40k and quad strike. Again, I just run it in here because it's a nice finisher, and you know, if you got a secret, why not use it?
I mean, you could also use Supreme Cry of Time.
Yeah, well, I think it's fair to say you could run Supreme Kai of Time in pretty much any deck you want.
Yeah.
So, but I'm running this because why not? I kind of need to use it. I've had it for so long.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, guys. That is my King Vegeta deck profile. So, as always, leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.